Thank you. Yeah, actually, this is my first time doing this kind of presentation, and just learned that thing that we need to avoid is having too many texts, but I already did. So, yeah, hope I can handle it for next 10 minutes. So today I would like to talk about our efforts on immigration detention, and we did some kind of strategic litigation on this one. So yeah, I will explain it very briefly today. Before that, I would like to introduce my organization. We are Duroo. We are based in here, Seoul, South Korea. And we have about 12 full-time public interest lawyers with 2 managers. And we work on various issues like migrant and refugee law, refugee rights, children's rights, disabilities rights, and all other public interest related issues. Yeah, we are one of the biggest full-time public interest group. But we also work with other human rights lawyers in Korea. So in Korea, we have pretty strong collaboration and network here. Yeah, another text with a lot of text. But I would like to explain the background of this case. It's Article 63(1) of the Immigration Act, which allowed immigration detention, but indefinite immigration detention. The law says if it is impossible to immediately repatriate a person out of the Republic of Korea, the immigration may detain the person until he or she can repatriate the person. So that means it can be indefinite. And there were cases of migrants detained in detention center for about 4 years maximum, and there are a lot of cases with 3-4 years. And this provision had been dealt by the Constitutional Court for 3 times already. So the most recent decision was in 2018, and actually the majority opinion said it violated the freedom of the person. But under the Korean constitutional law, the ruling should be, there should be sufficient quorum of more than 6 judges. So even though the majority opinion said it was unconstitutional, the provision was held constitutional because it didn't meet the quorum. So there were still 3 issues, like indefinite detention and also lack of due process, and also child detention as well, because there is no law under the Immigration Act saying anything about child detention. So we started the case with the case of 17-year-old I. His name was, his name started with I, and he was 17 years old at the time of detention and at the time we met him. So he was, actually this photo is drawn by children who are in detention center, and it shows how this kind of environment affect the mentality of children. And also this child was in detention center for about 1 month, but when we met him, and he was actually temporarily released after we submit the case, and he was released for, even though he didn't have any valid visa, but he was in detention center because he wanted to apply for asylum, but the immigration office said, you should do it with your parents. But apparently he was an unaccompanied child, so he didn't have any parents here. So he couldn't make an asylum, and he had to be detained afterwards. So when we met him, he said he didn't say any word for 1 month because there was no interpreter, and he didn't know anything about his future. And also he was Muslim, but because he couldn't speak anything, he didn't know anything about the food, so he had to eat eggs and bread. And he couldn't eat anything other than that because he didn't know what was inside. So we started the case with this person, and with other group of lawyers, we form End Detention 2020 group. So, and actually while we were doing this case, he became an adult. So we made happy birthday message to him. So we worked with other lawyers and other activists to end detention in 2020. So during the court cases, we submitted quite a few submissions about current state of immigration detention system, and also we focused on child detention as well. And also we did a lot of comparative research on unconstitutionality decisions in other countries like Taiwan and South Africa and Israel had already constitutional court decisions about this issue, so we submitted that as well. And also we did a lot of cases from other countries. And also we did a lot of international law and immigration detention kind of research. And we also got amicus briefs from other experts around the world. And there was this UN global study on child deprived of liberty in 2020. And the independent expert who did that study provided us an amicus brief on the immigration detention and the rights of children. It was Professor Nowak gave us this kind of amicus brief. And also we got submissions from UNHCR, Save the Children, and National Human Rights Commission of Korea, apparently. And also we work very closely with APRN, Asia Pacific Refugee Rights Network, and also Immigration Detention Coalition. So we used our network and provided a lot of information to the court as well. We also held international symposium about this issue, and we invited speakers from Germany and Taiwan, and also other experts in Korea as well. So we discussed about this issue and learned about the cases of others. And apparently, we were supposed to have the public hearing in October. It's not always happening, but the court wanted to learn more about this issue. So the court said there will be a public hearing on 13th of October in 2023. So we have prepared that public hearing from July the 5th of, it's the calendar, but it's only in Korean. But there was this section to prepare the public hearing and to prepare for the independent experts and to do Q&A and to prepare international symposium and to submit more submissions. So yeah, we started from the last week of July to mid-October. We prepared the public hearing very well. I like this photo, but I think there will be another speaker who will talk about constitutional court case in South Korea. But the thing about constitutional court is that there are 9 judges, and there will be one leading judge who will draft the decision, but you don't know who that person will be until the public hearing day. So we actually put the photos of the judges on the wall and see and like analyze who will be more conservative and who will be more less conservative, and wish like one person to be our leading judge. So we put the photos and prepare the public hearing. This is the Constitutional Court. So we went to the court and do the public hearing. And after the public hearing, we also did we prepared we used the UN mechanism as well, because we had CRC session in 2019. So to review for the review of the Republic of Korea session, we went to Geneva to bring this issue to Geneva to get good recommendations. And also, actually, we got quite a good recommendation about the immigration detention of children. So we also submitted this to the court as well. And this is one event that I would like to share. It was right after the public hearing. We submitted the Taiwanese case in English and translated the English version to Korean. But the court wanted to have the full translation of Taiwanese judgment to Korean. And apparently we didn't speak any Taiwanese at all. But it was like a day before public holiday, so we used DeepL and we used ChatGPT at that time. And we actually did the translation in Korean with a lot of like good AI program. So, but it was like about like 163 pages, but we did it and we submitted it to the court. And we were like, if they hold it unconstitutional after this, we will just lie down in the court. But actually we submitted it and it was actually quite helpful. So yeah, in the end it was all good, but I was quite upset at the time. Yeah, so the provision was held unconstitutional in 2023, and the court held that the legal provision continues to apply only until the legislature amends it with a deadline of May 31st next year. Yeah, so we are very happy. We thought it was the end of our journey because we have good decisions. But the journey still continues because the Ministry of Justice, who wants to have a very strong upper limit, like they submitted the amended law and said it was like the limit was 36 months, which is like 3 years. And also they want to review it within the Ministry of Justice, and they don't say anything about child detention. So our journey still continues, and we actually have another session with the National Assembly tomorrow. So we are still fighting for it. So this is actually the card that we made. It says it's about indefinite detention, child detention, and detention without judgment and stuff. Yeah. So we made this card to prepare for the public hearing and the decision, but we are still using this card to like fight with the Ministry of Justice. And this is another public session at the National Assembly. Yeah, so we are still fighting and looking at very sharply the Ministry of Justice to end immigration detention. So yeah, I always finish my presentation with the cat, because after that everyone will remember the cat and find it interesting. So yeah, so this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.